when I talk with young players, I say, okay, you're not getting minutes now. You might have this problem later. We need to overcome this issue in order to be able to overcome that issue or similar issue at the higher level. And
St. Mary's in the States. And they were really hard workers. I mean, we were first in the practice and we were last from the practice. We were doing a lot extra works, and these players that you don't need to push. They are coming to you and they are asking. So this is what you expect from the young players, that they are pros, they want to.
that person, but let's say your dream is to play in NBA, to be in NBA, and you like, I'm never going to make it to NBA. But listen, if you work really hard, and you just gave example, he probably didn't play in NBA. He played in some other leagues, but he eventually got to the NBA. Should coaches be friends with their players?
Yeah, in one another way, yes, but they also have to have this like balance in between being friend and being coach.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Basketball, Body, and Mind. Today, we have my great friend and the first basketball coach that I ever worked with as a strength and conditioning coach, Laimonas Eglinskas. Laimonas is an experienced basketball coach who has worked across multiple countries and leagues. Originally from Lithuania, but he, I believe, has worked in every national basketball league in Lithuania. Also contributed to the Lithuanian national teams, spent time coaching in Australia, and currently working with London Lions. Throughout his career, Laimonas has worked with top level professional athletes. So if your goal is to go pro, this episode is for you. Laimonas, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for your introduction. And even I forgot that, in fact, yes, probably I worked in every league of Lithuania that is possible with the kids,
Yes,
with the women's,
yes.
etc.
Yes, also with the women's. Yes, not only with men's and kids, but also with women's too. And I believe that from the very very like lowest league that is possible, that played nationally, all the way to the top highest leagues,
Yeah.
and students included too.
Yeah, students included too, and you were working with me together. So
Yes. So, since you have been everywhere at different ages, I mean, most of your experience are with adults, but when you hear he or she is a true professional basketball player, what comes to your mind? Or how would you define professionalism in basketball?
talking about the professionalism in the basketball, I think it's first of all it starts with the discipline, with consistently, and definitely how you put yourself on and off the court. And if you can go deeper, I would say like how you take care of your body. It's a very important thing when you're a professional basketball player. And definitely you know better than me how it's important about how you take care about your recovery, what gas you put in your body. So it's one of the main things that professional basketball player can't live without that, and going in the wrong way, in the wrong direction can cause a lot. Um, to go deeper, also I think that all the professional players, they really study the basketball. They really study the game. It's not only about how you're preparing in the practice, but it's also about how you're following it, how you watch it, and what details you pay attention. For example, if you're like pointer big or something, like you have your position, how you follow other players, like top level players, what kind of decisions they're making on the court, how they acting, how in certain situations they are making decisions. Uh, Definitely about being professional. It's also about how you respect your teammates, how you respect your coaches. Because in basketball there are a lot of different situations, and sometimes it can be hard times, and it's very important how you respond. In some feedbacks from your teammates. Sometimes it can be, not in the most polite way with your coach when the ball is, the water is boiling in your head,
Yes.
but how you accepting that information and how you responding to that, you cannot also, if you're a professional, you cannot take it like an offense. You have to take it like an, how to say, explaining
Feedback.
and just in a different kind of level. And I would say the main thing that I really think that it's really the most important thing for every player and especially in the pro level, how you put yourself in the work when nobody's watching. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
okay, it's one way when everyone sees and you want to show that how good you are, but it's more important how you work when nobody's watching you. How you do yourself after in no one's eyes, how you take
Mm-hmm.
care of yourself, how you put in the work, how you do your extra work, and I think this is most important thing in the professional basketball.
Yes,
It's
so
it's
doing when nobody is watching, so definitely goes off the court, or mean
yeah.
maybe on the court when nobody is there. Yes, and also you mentioned watching others how they play. So you mean that a player, like a professional player, would need to be looking up to someone. Uh, let's say I don't know, they pick a player. Maybe I would like to be like that player. Maybe that's more for the youth for development, so they can watch that player and kind of use their technique, their skills in their game. That's what you meant, or something else?
It's not only about technique and skills what we're using and what we're doing, but it's also about decision making in some certain situations. It's not only about how he scores and what kind of scores in what kind of ways he is scoring. It's also about in some certain situations like defensive leads, how he is finding the way to involve your teammates or sacrifice for the team. It's not only skills like for example,
Mm-hmm.
I loved Kobe Bryant, and when I was kid I was following him and I was trying to pick up his skills and do my workouts on the court, but it's not only about that, how they just go through the game, how in different situations and about the reads. For example, and for me as a coach, it's also interesting. I'm not following only the players and only, watching the basketball, how it runs. I pay attention a lot about how other coaches are doing with their assistants, how they're leading the game, how they're acting on the court, and definitely after that you go in the basketball things about different situations, about sets, about tactics. But before that, I'm more interested in the top level coaches, how they're controlling everything, how they react in the timeouts, how they communicate with his players on the timeouts, how we communicate with the referees. Also, it's a very important thing, I think. So that's how I see myself from the coaching point. So I think that also the players, it's also important not only to think that I'm in the pro level and this is enough. There are always something that you can learn and take into your package. Because I think that if you're stopping and you're thinking that you are already at the level, you just stop improving and you're just decreasing yourself.
Going down. Yes.
But as far as you still think that you don't know everything, it means that you are learning and getting something more. Even I sometimes I'm saying to some guys that I know, that they think that they know everything. Man, if you think that you know everything, so you have to go in another job and start to do something else because you are done here. I don't
Yes.
think that you can be successful when you know everything. I think that I don't know anything. So it was it, but it was I was learning through my years and experience. In the beginning, when I started my career, I was thinking that really I know everything. I really thought that I know everything, but year by year, I understood that I know aim. I don't know. I don't want to use these bad words. I didn't know anything,
Yes.
and even now, thinking that okay, it's some years that I'm working in the coaching, and every year I go with some different coaches and from different level. Also, like you mentioned, okay, it was first year that I was abroad in New Zealand playing in the Australian league. Right now in London with different colleagues. and from each of them, I can get something new of what I didn't know, but right now I'm putting in my package, and and you are still growing, so you just cannot stop growing. So same as for the professional players, you gotta keep going, you gotta keep looking on the players, and then try to get also not also just how to say, to get all good things, but also what not to do.
Yes, from the other
It's
people,
also the
what
way to improve.
yes, what not to do. One strength coach, he was from American football, and he said, and he has also climbed from the lowest, higher, higher, higher. Eventually, he got to the NFL. And somebody asked him, like, what does it feel to work in NFL? And he said, same problems, better office. So when I talk with young players, I say, okay, you're not getting minutes now. You might have this problem later. We need to overcome this issue in order to be able to overcome that issue or similar issue at the higher level. And interesting thing is that many of them, they think that you just need to climb it kind of once and then you have learned it. But no, it will be, as you say, like it's new place. You learn, you always learn, and you meet new people. You maybe you have done that, but not at this level. So now the stakes are higher. So you are thinking maybe more broadly. But yes, you just need to be professional, as you say, like discipline. Keep going, no matter what.
Yes.
Just keep going.
And then when you mention, all of the for the youth, how they are going into these pros, it's also for them it's very important how they accept the roles in the beginning, because okay, every one of us we
In
are
youth
dreaming
teams
to
or
be
in professionals?
no from like on this step from the youth to the
Ah,
professionals, when they are thinking that they're gonna go in the professional level and they're gonna have immediately the role. But it's very important for the players to get in the pro level to accept the role, because it cannot be that everyone gonna be stars. We need also hard workers. We need some role players that don't play, the major minutes. So it's very important about for them. It's how they accept and how they are ready for that, mentally ready. It's not gonna happen that immediately you are coming first practice in the pros and they're gonna give you. There are just very few examples maybe on that kind of that. But in general,
yes.
you need to have time and you have to adjust to that.
Yes, yes, and it might be two, maybe 2, 3 years that you will not be getting those minutes, but you have to stick to the plan, listen to the coaches, accept your role that you will be allowed to play when it's -20 or +20, and it's only 2 minutes left, just in case. In this basketball, like these days, basketball, you never know if it's +20. It still doesn't mean because you can just quickly come
Yeah.
back.
But it's very important how you're ready to use these 2 minutes. When these
Mm-hmm.
2 minutes comes, you have to be ready to perform, to execute what task you are given, to make a defense, to make a stop, to not make a turnover, to make a right decision, to make a right read, like not to take some, how to say, ununderstandable shot or something. So these 2 minutes is growing to 2 minutes and 0.5 seconds, and so on, so on. So it's very important that you are ready to go on these minutes. These minutes gonna come, but it's also about how you're gonna use that minute. So in that minute, if you did good work, it means that coach can get some more trust on you. So it means that next game, maybe it's not about -20, maybe you will step on the court on -15, or even in some second quarter when some main player he needs some short break, to get to his brief on the bench, and this is the moment that you're earning and you can get it, but you have to be ready for that. Because if
Yes, and
you
you
step
can.
on the court and it's -5 or 7 with you, so
Yes, and you
it
can
might take
be
more.
ready only if you have done the work. You cannot
Exactly.
kind of, I don't know, move a little bit forward, back. Okay, I will not work. I will work. I will not work. Depending on the day. Today I didn't sleep well, so maybe I will not work. And then your time shows up. You didn't perform well in those 2 minutes. Hey, next game, Zero. But do you think this is the main? Maybe first, I would like to ask: have you have like explained to someone their role? Okay, this for the young player. This is your role, or maybe some young players have approached you to ask, "Hey, coach, what are my roles? What should I do?"
Uh, I don't think that I was. I had these kind of questions like, "What is my role?" Or 'cause usually when you are already in the pros level and you are getting some youth players, they understand that they are not in
Mm-hmm.
the major role, you know. But you are trying definitely to explain their tasks and what they have to do when they're gonna step on the court. So you are telling them what your expectations are, and it can be, you know, in different ways. Like I said before, it can be that I need you just to get on the court, make a stop because we are not in the bonus, make a foul, smart foul, not an sportsman like, you know, just give a foul and you have to go back on the bench. But it
Yes.
doesn't mean that, you know, that we don't follow you. It means that, for example, in the practice, we're giving a lot hard time for the young players. But it's not because they're young and we have to let our feelings go on something, you know. If you care about the player, you always giving some feedback for them. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's young player. It's pro player. But if you're still care about them, you're giving them feedbacks, and it's not only good feedbacks how good you did something or this or that. It's all about going through the details that they didn't succeed and what you want to reach. You know, because during my career, I really had experience to have really interesting youth players. Like for example, it was Panagiotis Kalaitzakis. That right now he is in Panathinaikos and he is one of the greatest defenders in EuroLeague. But before that, he was under his brother. You know, they were twins, and his brother was in NBA. He was in Lietkabelis, my former team. You know, and he came like a young player, but we gave him a role. And every time we were talking with him, and it was really interesting from his side how he was accepting that he's not offensive player, but how he's great in the defense. And he's every time he was asking to guard the best offensive player from the opponents. And I even still have messages that we texted between each other, and he said I'm gonna become one of the best defensive player in EuroLeague. And after that, like I don't know, it was last season or season before that everyone was speaking that he is one of the best defender in the EuroLeague. And I text him, "Do you remember this message that you told me?" Yeah, I said it was my word, and I just kept going on that. So and now his value is huge. Same talking about Paulius Morauskas, Mantas Rupstavičius, who already has contract with Žalgiris, yeah, but now he's playing in Lietkabelis, or Morauskas was in Lietkabelis, and he's having great season back in San Maris in the States. And they were really hard workers. I mean, they were first in the practice and they were last from the practice. They were doing a lot extra works, and these players that you don't need to push, you know, they are coming to you and they are asking. So this is what you expect from the young players that they are pros, they want to. And even this year in New Zealand, we had Kareem Lopez, and he's also, I mean, his attitude and how he's going into the practices. We had him to pull back about like from the shooting because he had. I mean, it was first time that I heard that player can have a injury because of too many shots. So
Yes. Yes.
you can imagine how hard he's pushing himself and putting on the court to extra work. And he's only 17 years old. But right now I saw these draft express, how to say, predictions for the not this summer, for the next summer. He's already in top 10 picks. But when you see him, then you know that the player he really puts the work and he's really interested in what he did well and what he did bad in the games and everything. I mean, you know why he's there.
Mm-hmm.
So so that's what you expect. You don't expect that your youth players will come same time as all elders in the practice. You don't expect that your youth player he will sit on the bench when your main players are still shooting. You know, so
Yes. Yes.
So this is how you earn trust also from the coaches, how you show that you want to. Because if I need every time to force the youngster to come for the extra hours for work, to come before the practice, to stay longer after the practice, if I need to do that, it means that they're in the wrong way, in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be that I want more than them.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
if you wanna if you really want to become pro, if you really want to earn your minutes, if you really want to get trust from your coaches, from the assistants, from your teammates, you have to show it. You have to show it by your work, by your attitude. It's only one
And
way how to get the trust and how to get that 1-2 minutes per se.
And what would you say? I don't have answer. Like this is just came to my mind right now when you were talking. 100% agree. What we would say to me and you now? What we would say to the person who they are going to the school, they don't have professional team, and there isn't much of access to the basketball courts. Is there anything that they could do to still maximize their chances? I mean, would maybe go outside and just dribble the ball? I think maybe then, when you have access to the court, then go and shoot. But I think still, right? You can still do many things, even though you do not have arena to come early and to do the workout.
Basketball ball is not that big, so you can carry it on wherever you want. Even from okay, I didn't become a great player or something, but because I knew from my first beginning that I want to be coach, and I followed that idea. But when I was younger, I was just picking up the ball. I was laying down in the bed, and I was working on my touch, on my wrist. The ball goes, he has to touch the floor. He has to come back on the wrist, changing hands and everything. So
Yes.
you can do a lot if you want to improve in any kind of skills to get along with the ball. You can take the ball during the winter is a bit maybe tougher, but
Mm-hmm.
during other when there is no snow, you can carry your ball wherever you go. You can go with the ball and dribble the ball.
Yes.
I was when I was also working with some teams. I will not tell you which ones. I
Okay.
wasn't easygoing coach. I was asking my players to have the ball everywhere where they go. To have the ball, carry the ball, dribble the ball, and I want to see from the new ball that's how it's used during the season. Okay, I mean players, yeah, they didn't like a lot that, but nobody says that everything comes easy. And I don't know,
Yes.
it's right way, not right way, but yes, you're right. I mean, it's not only about accessibility on the court. You can do a lot extra without stepping in these inside venues. There are many outside venues. And when you really love basketball, even during the snowy winter in Lithuania, you can dig the snow off and keep on playing.
Yes.
So it's if you want to find excuses why not to do it, you're gonna find it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really care about that, and if you really want to improve, you also will find the way how to improve and where what to do. And it's okay. And now we are talking more about about the ball, but it's also about your body, about preparation of your body. You can walk more instead of driving more. You can walk
Mm-hmm.
more from the home to the practice to the schools instead of driving the bus or the taxi or asking parents to drive you everywhere. Because okay, in these days we are everyone's so comfortable. Everyone has cars. Everyone has these scooters or whatever. And instead of walking, they're using that. So start walking. It's also
Good
endurance and everything
conditioning.
goes in your health.
Yes, 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 exactly. We're talking now about that's another thing that I want to talk about is the hard work because everyone likes to say, I work hard, I putting the extra, I'm in the trenches, all of these words. But what does it really mean to work hard? So as you said, you might need to shovel the snow off the court outside and go to shoot. and or dribble or do something, you might be not able, maybe, I hope not, maybe you sprained your ankle, is broken, so you just lay on the floor and you just do that, as you said, like that shooting. Or maybe you are standing on one leg and working on your dribbles. Yes, that's probably is the hard work. And if somebody has hard work, so that's, you will most likely will come to that pro league. But what are the, maybe, is this the common struggle that you see in young players, or is there any other issues that you see when they come to the professional league, to the professional clubs? Are there any other common struggles that you see in youth players?
Uh, how to say? Some of the players they just feel comfortable and feel that it's enough to be in the team. Like they are coming, for example, in the LKL team, like Lithuanian top division teams, or I don't know, Australian top division teams, and they're already feeling comfortable that they get there and they did enough. So I think it's first of all it's mentality things, how you set up your minds and what you really want to. And when we are also talking about that hard work, I mean hard work. I don't know how to say hard work. Okay, uh, it has to be not only hard work. It has to be efficiency work. You have to know on what to work, on what to work. It's not only enough to say, "Oh, I'm a hard working." Okay, I'm just going in the lifting room and I lift like my body weight and maybe more. So it doesn't mean that you are working hard. Okay, I mean, yes, this minutes
You,
you did
yes.
hard work and it's like, oh, okay. I was kid. I was digging the hole because I needed to make some plants and something like that, and it was hard work. Yes, it's hard work, but
Yes.
first of all, it has to have sense, like why you're doing that work, and
Yes.
also this hard working is also it's about I don't know how to say how you push your past limits, how you don't stop, how you overstep this hard work that it really hurts when you already thinking that it's enough, but how you overstep this. But like I said, before, like I mentioned before, and also I'm reading now that Mamba mentality book, Kobe
Mm-hmm.
Bryant, and it's a long time ago he wrote that book, but this time I just had to finally find the time to read it, and he said that not everyone can be stars, not everyone can be in that level that he reached. So it depends, about what level we are talking. If you want to reach really, like really high level, if you want to be one of the top players, one of the elite players. So it's also about how you sacrifice the things, how you sacrifice your time with the friends, with your friends are going to the parties and everything, and so on, and how you can avoid that, how you can go in the different direction, how you spend your free time. So this is like I think that the more important thing on sacrificing on the things that all all other people can do it, but you can't. But it's about
Yes.
knowing, like I said, it's about personality, it's about mindset, it's about mental things. How hard you are ready to do that. Like we said before, I mean, hard work, it doesn't mean that you're gonna reach something. It has to be like efficient hard work, and it has to be consistency. It has to be with the purpose why you're doing this or that. It's not only about going and saying I
Yeah.
did hard
All
work.
out.
Okay, you did, but
Yes.
maybe you did just nonsense that it's not helping for you. And
Yes.
because of
Yes.
that, you're having conditioning coaches, you're having your basketball coaches that can give you advice on what you have to work more, on what you have to do more, and what you feel how to do more. And it's also like I said, it's not only about doing today, but it's also about doing every single day. When you feel it like you are done, but it's how you step through it, how you go through your limits. And this I said also I mentioned before I think in the first beginning of our podcast that uh, how to say. I forgot the word. It's about how you work on the moments when nobody is watching. So this is also important.
Yes.
So
Yes. Also, this is interesting that, let's say in Lithuania, we have some talents, and the talent, they get to high level. Let's say they get to the second highest league, and they're pretty young. Then maybe some of the team in highest league, they ask them to come and they training a little bit. Maybe sometimes in the games, not so important games, they allow them to play, but they're still in school, and they some of their classmates maybe are also playing, or friends are playing basketball, but they're not that talented. But they see that that kid is playing in, let's say, in, I don't know, in the highest league of Lithuania team, but I see him partying, I see him not sleeping. How can he do that? And then the other person might be also not putting so much of the attention uh, to 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 those things. This is what I actually have noticed, but it's not only in Lithuania. I mean, I believe it's in everywhere. When you are young, you don't value the sleep. You know that, yeah, you can sleep 5 hours and you come next day and you can perform well. But I'm a little bit sad that when talent doesn't work hard, and I think, oh man, you could be so much better if you just worked hard in that sense,
yeah.
you know.
Uh, first of
And
all,
maybe
first of all,
I don't know if you want to respond. Yes, anything
yeah.
to add.
First of all, sometimes life is not fair,
Mm-hmm.
and at some points, even me, also same with the players, we gotta understand that it's professional basketball is also about the business. It's talent ain't gonna be enough, to or work for getting in that level. It's also about the connections. It's about the timing. A lot of things goes into getting where you are, because it's like I said, it's business. It means a lot about having like good agent. It makes a lot sense about networking, creating connections, dealing with the people, talking with the people, and for some of the people, it's definitely easier because, unfortunately, I mean, it's not unfortunately, but for example, they have better conditions with their father, they have more money, they have more connections, they can push you up, and they can get easier into these places. But it doesn't mean that they got there easier. It doesn't mean that they're gonna stay longer. I had also from the past experience. I knew two players. They were same age, and one was really great talent. I mean, he really had huge talent on basketball court. He didn't need to work a lot, but he was really talented. And another one, he was, I mean, yes, he had some talent, but he wasn't that talented, but he was working hard. He was good in connections, in networking, and putting a lot of work. And at the same time, they both went to states. It was like, these times when not, I mean, right now also we are sending a lot of players to the states, to universities, but it was now some gap that we didn't do that. And in the previous time, I don't know, back like 15 years ago, 16 years ago, both of them went to states, and the talented kid and less talented, the hard worker. All in all, the one who came back from the states who was talented, he became like average player, and the one who was like hard worker, less talented, he played in the pros. He played in the highest level, and now he's one of the coaches in Brooklyn Nets. So, and the one who in my eyes, the one who had more talent, nah, I don't know, he's some worker, I don't, somewhere
Yes.
that I even don't know where. So that's what I meant, that talent is not enough. You can waste talent, but if you have, how to say, mm, 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 in the right words, how to say, if you have ambitions, if you have passion for what you're doing and you're putting in the right work, and you sometimes you have to wait more, but
Yes.
that waiting more, it means that you're gonna stay longer in the level you want.
Yes.
And the talent that didn't put the work, it can be wasted very fast, and it can change like in 1 2 years. You can step over that talent, and 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 definitely
Yes.
you can waste the talent, like you said, in the nights of outgoing in different directions.
But again, this is from the hard work. And on top of everything, what you said is you don't know uh, in what form or what time, but also in what form success can come. Maybe
Yeah,
the
exactly.
person, I don't know that person, but let's say your dream is to play an NBA, to be an NBA, and you like, I'm never going to make it to NBA. But listen, if you work really hard, and you just gave example, he probably didn't play in NBA. He played in some other leagues, but he eventually got to the NBA in different form. You know,
Yeah,
so you never know. You never know. But as you said, that didn't come from super talent. No, as
yeah,
you said, he was talented, but it's the hard work. I love this story. I really like, and also you are 100% right. Like it's not only about talent or not only about working hard. It's also about circumstances. Some of
yeah.
them we can control, some of them we cannot control. But yes, having good people around, scout or agent, agent or connections, writing, going to tryouts, texting to the teams. If you're, let's say, you want to go to the pro, but you are 18, so contact all the teams around. Don't expect that they will find you and they will say, "Hey, Stan, come. We really need you. Come to play." You know, but
Yeah,
you need to
exactly.
contact them and
I mean,
go.
it's from my own life experience. I don't know how many letters I've sent to all the countries, probably to all state universities, high schools, probably to all Euro federations, and not only Europe. When I was younger, I was like also about the agents. I was texting them. I was asking them about possibilities to go to some camps, uh, to get in some clubs. If they can help me to go into the internships. It takes time and it takes investments, but it's more it's more talking about our coaching part. How to get in the
Yes,
coaching. It's not easy. Also, it's not only easy. It's not it's hard for the players, but it's also hard for the coaches to get in the market, to get in the job. And same, we do need some time and right timing. So, like I said before, like you said also, time will come if you really do the work right away. If you don't give up, the time will come. In one or another way, you will get something. Like maybe you're not gonna be NBA player, but maybe you're gonna work in the NBA.
yes,
Maybe you're not gonna be LKL player, but maybe you're gonna play. Maybe you're gonna work in LKL or something like that. But yes,
yes.
it's you have to have patience. I don't have it. To be honest, I don't have patience. I have, my how to say, the credo that I'm following. It's like, for me, life is too short to be patient. But on the other hand, yes, you don't know when time will come, and it's about the timing. You have to be ready when the time is come. If you are not ready
And
on that time, if you didn't use that chance that you receive, it might be that you're not gonna receive. So
yes,
you just have to be ready on the time. When time is coming, the chance is coming, and just use that time. So, like you said, it cannot be the time, sitting on the couch and like, okay, I wanna be, I don't know, EuroLeague coach, but I don't do a shit. I just dreaming and just thinking. Okay, it's not enough. It's just to
yes,
think and dream and say for everyone, oh, I wanna be EuroLeague coach, so I wanna be a EuroLeague player. But I don't do anything for that. What you did for that? Did you work harder than anyone else? Did you spend more hours on the court than anyone else? So then from there you can start talking. But if you just spend your time on the couch watching some games and saying, "Okay, I'm ready, I'm better than them," it's not gonna happen like this.
Yes, yes. And this is what I was talking because I work online and we do like monthly calls with some of the kids. And one kid said, I need to be better at this thing and this thing and this thing. And I thought, you have improved. Like, I didn't say that, but I thought you have improved significantly from the September. And then I said, okay, so you want to be there. So it means that we have to be working on those things in order to get where you want. And he said, yes. So he said, do you do anything for that? Let's say thing A. He says, yes, I'm doing this. So I said, okay. Or for thing B, he says, yes, I'm doing this. So then I'm saying, look, so you have not collected enough of repetitions, or you did not have enough of patience to, enough of time have not passed for you to get there. You just need to keep going. That's the only thing, because you already are doing the right things. So even if you are doing everything what we have talked about, but you have done it for a month, no, you need to go, year, 2, 5, and then be surprised if nothing will show up. And most of the time, yes, it will work out.
Yeah, I mean everything has to be counted. Nothing comes in 1 2 days. For everything,
Yes.
for all the experience, for all the muscle grow, you need time. It's not coming just if I said, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna be faster. It doesn't work like this. It doesn't work like this.
Yes.
And as well, for example, okay, we are talking more about these talented kids, how we get easier and everything. But when you're less talented, it's also you have to try to be elite at something. And it doesn't mean that you have to be like best scorer. I mean, you pay a lot attention in the great defenders, in these dirty workers, the ones who are hustling, the ones who are putting energy, efforts on the court. It's not only about being talented, skillful and everything, but if you don't have everything in your pockets, but you have to be at least try to be elite at something. Like I said, you have to be elite in the defense, or you have to be smart. I mean, you have to have good IQ. It means that you have to read to know how to read situations. For example, even okay, our one of the best coaches and one of the best coaches now in EuroLeague, Laimonas Eglinskas, he never were like elite athlete, but his game IQ, but his reading, his space control, like decision making, even though that you're not like a great athlete or something like that, it doesn't mean that you cannot play basketball. But you have to be elite at something else. And then this Kaczynski is elite in IQ in winning situations, controlling the game. And also there are some players like LBC from France that he's elite in defense. I mean, imagine him. You put on any ball handler, and he cannot dribble the ball because he's like, I know it's elite defensive skills, and you are not the greatest shooter, but you are greatest defender. So like I spoke about Panagiotis Kalaitzakis, he's not the greatest shooter, but how he plays defense. Or you can put him on any EuroLeague star, and he's great at that. But he was doing work. I mean, he knew it. It didn't come immediately. He wasn't in the NBA, but he's now elite EuroLeague player, elite role EuroLeague player about the defense, and it's just because he knew and he believed.
Yes.
And I mean, and work for sure.
And
It
work.
wasn't it wasn't
Yes.
just that he wanted. He was
Hey,
putting a
but
lot of work.
believe is super important. Believe is super important, because if you are not believing, most likely you will put less of the work. And if you don't believe in yourself, why should coach believe in you? Because if you don't believe that you can make it, less effort, you're not going to make it. You don't even think that you
Exactly.
can
I mean,
make it.
exactly.
Yes.
First of all, you have to start believing in yourself if you want someone to believe in you. And like I told you before, it cannot be same with the one. It cannot be that I want more than you want. So it's same about the trust and belief. If you don't believe in yourself, how I can believe in you?
Mm-hmm.
If I am believing that you can shoot the ball, but you're not shooting the ball, so what? Then I am idiot. That I believe more than you, because putting you in situations that you need to shoot the ball and you are not shooting. Or, for example, I'm putting in you in the defense situations that I need a stop because I believe that you can make it, but you don't believe and you don't make it. So,
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, I am the dumb guy because I believe and you don't.
Yes, yes. I mean, yes, and it's a little bit maybe also on the other side. We coaches have seen more players like you have seen someone who goes from youth to EuroLeague, and you know that it's possible. But maybe for them, they have not been there. They have not done that, so they need that little extra push for believing. But if coach always needs to say believe and push you, so then it's an issue. Coach has to do that little bit to bring that fire a little bit, and then you just have to know, okay, I trust this coach. I know that he will help me to improve. I believe. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's definitely. For example, I mean, we can push players, we can help them, but it cannot be that daily you're pushing. Like you said, I was happy to having experience with the players who pushed me to push them. And this makes difference between good players and average players. I also had experience with the players that I needed to push and they didn't want to anything. They were just, how to say, they were happy enough of being in the team, sitting on the bench, having the time with the main players of the court, and they were satisfied with that. And they were talented. I mean, they were talented enough to get into the Euro Cup level teams. They were talented enough to get in Euro Cup level teams. They were talented enough to play in youth national teams. But they were for them were enough, like to sit on the bench and then not getting minutes on the court. We were, for example, it was some players that we were offering, guys. Maybe we put you on, we loan you on some teams that you get the minutes, because on your age it's very important to play minutes. Okay, you're practicing with us, you're going in the games with us, but we are putting you in some other, okay, kind of lower level teams, but you get minutes on the court, but you need to play. And they said, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, I want to stay here, and I'm okay with that. So for me as a coach, it's okay. It's clear. Okay, for him it's enough. This is his level. That's it. We have practice player, and but when we are saying role exceptions, so he accepted the role. For him, it was fine to be
Yes.
in this minutes in the practice when one of the main players has to get rest. So for him, it was enough. He was satisfied with that, and okay, maybe it's good. I mean, we have to have these kind of players probably too. If they are
Yes.
satisfied with that, they are young players. I mean, we as the coaches, we see them that they could have better, brighter future, but if they don't want to, I mean, how hard you can push it? You try once, you try twice, you give some advice, but if they don't accept it, for them it's more fun to be on these off-court things, go in the bars or do some other things, or I don't know, dating with cheerleaders or something like that. So it's fine for them.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
they don't
Hey,
know what they're losing.
yes, exactly. They don't know what they are losing later. Maybe they will, most likely, they will have those regrets. But for now, hey, it's very, very nice talking to you. And I believe most, if not all, but I believe most of these things they will be taking into their hearts and heads in order to develop. But now let's move to the last part. This last part I changed a little bit from the last time. So in this last part, I will ask you questions, and I would like you to answer in one sentence or like one word. Some will be one word, but just try to minimize your words and say in one sentence. Is that clear?
Nah, I hope so.
Before I
I gotta
ask
try.
first, okay. Before I ask first question, I want to share a short story. It was I would say first month us working together, and it was winter break, and you were working with both teams of the student league of the university, and the second team of the university I also helped with coaching. And out of maybe it was like 7 days between Christmas when they came and maybe 2nd of January, something like this, around 7 days. And you didn't want players to touch basketballs. You said, I want them to be hungry or something like this for basketball when we come back, because I think our game was a little bit later. So that's what you said. So my first question to you, do you believe that young players should, young players, I'm saying because professionals, we all know that they do you believe that young players should take time off from basketball in a year, like weeks from not playing, and do something else in order later to be better basketball players?
Uh,
Maybe even in season.
no, I mean, yes, I truly believe that, for example, some of the players, they need to have some break from the basketball, like especially for the ones who are participating not only during the season, in regular season for the clubs, but for the ones that also are in national teams. I think that sometimes it's good to have some break. I mean, that break, it doesn't mean that you're not working out, or you're not doing some extra work, but not just to have break from the ball, just to have break from getting in these venues inside and breathing the dust. I think that
Okay.
it's good. It's good, and I still
Parag-
believe that they need some of the players. They truly need these breaks and fresh minds to clear
one
it out.
sentence paragraph.
Huh?
A one sentence paragraph. Okay, what's more important for winning, you think? Individual skills or team chemistry?
Team chemistry.
One characteristic that you value the most in a player, like
Hmm.
personality trait, or maybe what they do on basketball court, or anything.
Ah, one characteristic. Okay.
Yes,
I mean,
you mentioned. Uh-huh.
it's hard to describe in one word, but for me, it's very important to see fire in the eyes.
Okay, that's is a very good description. Should coaches be friends with their players?
Yeah, in one another way, yes, but they also have to have this like balance in between being friend and being coach.
Okay. True or false? The reason a player is coming off the bench is that he or she is not good enough to start.
Pause.
Good, thank you. Can coach make or break player's career, in your opinion?
True.
And lastly, the last question for you: what player needs to do to really disappoint you as a coach?
Like personally, me,
Uh, yes, for you, for you.
uh, to get in the bettings.
Okay. Okay, so thank you. Now I'll just summarize things that I always summarize in three kind of key things that I believe were from this episode. So if you would like to add or change something, so let me know. But first of all, what you said, the first thing would be discipline. Discipline, consistency are the most important things that you need to do in all areas. And we're not talking only about the basketball that you will become professional. You will, but maybe that will lead, as you shared the story, maybe that will lead the discipline and consistency, the hard work. It will lead you to the NBA, if not playing, maybe then working. Another thing is you have to accept the role, or you have to know your role to and accept it. Maybe your role will be one in first year or maybe in 2 years, but then your role will change when you will grow. And lastly, everything comes down to the effort that you put in again, in all those areas. And you can always put effort. If you want to find those excuses, you will find, as you said. If you want to find options, possibilities, you also will find. I think these would be my key takeaways from this episode with you. I believe it was
And
very motivational.
unfortunately, you said that patience. Yes, you need patience.
Patience. Yes. You also need patience.
Yes.
And you Laimonas too, you guys, everyone needs some patience. So Laimonas, thank you very much for your time today. And if someone would like to ask something or follow your work, what would be the best way to do that?
Text to you.
Simple as that. Text to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, text to you, text on, I don't know, Facebook.
Yes. Well, whatever we will find, we will put it on the show notes. And for everyone else, thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode. This is the best way to support us. But for now, keep training basketball, body, and mind.